Tracy.
I met Norrie at a conference at Oxford University in England in 1990, I think it was 98. It was a sex and gender diverse breakout conference. It was sort of a crossover of revolutionaries challenging the academic and psychiatric model. So there were lots of us who were campaigners there, but there were also the old psychiatric guard coming in. And in came Norrie announcing, "I have no sex or gender," which caused extreme confusion. And you could see all the psychiatrists on the starting blocks wanting to jump in and go, "We'll make you a boy or a girl, don't worry about it." When I came to Australia in 2001 with my lovely wife, Katrina Fox, Norrie doesn't know, but we actually stalked you. we at a cinema in a cinema space in Surrey Hills, we were spotted and we followed you, and we found, because I knew that Norrie was someone we wanted to start sex and gender education with, because Norrie is someone who takes an issue and sticks with it through thick and thin. Bringing the huge case that went to the High Court of Australia for Norrie to get sex non-specific on their documents, enormous amount of pressure, and on the front of all the newspapers, and there were some really nasty things online as well. Norrie weathered it all, and it doesn't matter what your cause is, Norrie will turn up and support you. The book is a great read because it talks about the struggles Norrie had right from the very beginning, and all the prejudice and everything. And Norrie's difficult journey at times, but it also takes you to Norrie finding Norrie, which we actually like the Norrie that Norrie found. Thank you.
The book was written over many years. I first drafted it while I was waiting for my sex change off, living at Trizzy House back in 1989. So back then I thought my life had been interesting enough, having survived encounters with police in WA and Department of Social Security, now known as Centrelink. I was an employee of theirs. I thought it would be a good idea to be a public servant because they promised they wouldn't discriminate. So I thought I'd be safe there. But of course practice and policy are two different things, and as it ended up I managed to tie them up with their own policy because I can read rules. They're not that hard. Most people just don't. They get away with stuff because they don't read their own rules. They're there for a reason. Hold them to it. But so in 1989 I did a draft of it. I think that was before everyone had access to typing. I think it was handwritten in 1989. I got friends to type it and put it in electronic form. I worked on it again in 1997, I think, just after the Transgender Anti-Discrimination Act had gone through. So that was the first time transgender people were mentioned in legislation, were protected in employment and could change their birth certificates. And that legislation left room for people to be recognised as not necessarily male or female, although we had to fight that out 20 years out later in the High Court of Australia. So I couldn't find a publisher. I think I sent drafts of that book in 1997 to various mainstream publishers. They weren't keen. Finally, an associate professor of history came to visit me a month or so ago, doing a project on transgender Australian history, and apparently I knew a bit about it, having been a part of it, and that convinced me, well, the story is worth putting out there. I have a responsibility to it. And I was I published it on Apple Books. Through not knowing what I was doing, I eventually ended up published on Amazon as a trade paperback, also as Kindle but without the picture, so wait for the Apple Books version the 1st of December. I'm glad that Amazon has now got the capacity, like they just print the number of books that you order, so I don't have a warehouse full of unsold vanity stock, thank goodness. So I'm hoping this takes off and maybe a proper publisher will make a hardcover book, maybe do the pictures in colour, but it's nice and black and white, it works well. I'm happy with it and proud of it, even though it just sort of accidentally half-assed came to be, but that's life really.